So, couple of uh, quick points before we move on to the demonstration. We had built this and we had learned in the last demonstration how to create posts and dynamically fetch them and display it on the pages. Now comes the time when we start building up. Let me just quickly open this in an incognito mode and then show you. If you click on this, it opens it like this, right? We don't want it to be opening like this. We want it in a different style and different layout. And also we want to change this header here. So how do we do that? We do that by going to the dashboard. Then go to the elementor and then go to the theme builder. If you have the pro version installed, you will have access to the theme builder and you will see it says start customizing every part of your website. And then it gives you options for creating a header, a footer, a single post, right? The single post we wanted to style, a single page. I don't usually design a template for the single page because the page I don't want it to be templatized. If need be, we can do that. Then we can have archive. Archive is just all the blogs together or all the posts together. We can have a template for that as well. Then we can have a template for search result. We can have a search bar, right? I'll show you all these things by going to a website I had built a couple of years back for our college, uid.kujournal.in. This entire website is designed by me using WordPress. So this journal, if you go to the archives, you will see that we have the articles for both the issues listed here. If you click on any one of them, it is not opening the way we see this opening, right? It looks different, you know, it's completely different. The header is also different. And we should be able to build something like this using WordPress. Okay. Also, if I go to the search and let's say I simply type something and search, I get the search results in this format, right? So all such templates could be created from here. Then you have loop items, you have error page also, which you can design and define. If somebody accidentally types something which is not available on your website, a URL which starts from your domain but doesn't lead to a specific page, then it returns a 404 error. You could simply throw the error and confuse your user, or you could write something, probably a nice image you can put. And this has become a practice, good UI UX practice. So let's define a header for us. I'm gonna click on this and it gives you an option if you have paid plan to choose from a block of available templates, but I'm not gonna go for that. I'll simply close this and I'm gonna start building my template from scratch. First thing first, I don't want this to be visible on my headers. So I'm gonna go to the header setting. Uh, oh, well, sorry. This will anyway not gonna come because it's a header, not a page. Shouldn't be worrying about this. All we have to do is create the header here and apply that on our website. So Elementor pretty much knows that we are on a header section, and that is why it is by default giving us these six things which are probably required for the header: the menu, the site title, site map, WordPress menu, and site logo. So before I begin building it, I'm gonna pull up a container and then drag it here, and let's give it a background color, horrible color. Let's make it more horrible. Okay, this seems fine. I don't know, guys. You can decide the color better. Yeah, this looks fine. This. I even forgot what kind of website we were building. We were just randomly making something, right? So I'm gonna go with something. This is fine. Nice red, brick red orange. So that's the background we have. Now, whatever we are going to put here, let's say I want to simply write this is header. Hey, header. And I can style it, of course, in a different way. I can go for a bigger font, a different color. I can style it in the way I want. I can add some padding to it. The top padding, let's say 20 pixel, and the bottom 20 pixel, and publish it. When you click on publish, it will ask you where do you want to display your template. I'm gonna say add condition, include on entire site. You do have an option of changing your header based on the pages also. So for the archives, you may end up having a different header altogether, and same goes for singular. You can choose either include or exclude. Excluding on a certain page will imply that it is not going to be visible on that page but rest of the website. Here I simply want to include it on the entire website, so I'm going to select this and choose save and close, and it got published. What that means is if I go to the website in the incognito mode and refresh the page, this entire thing should go away and should be replaced by my header, right? That means we can do things with the header, right? Okay, good, very good. So now it's all about designing it. Let me add more padding to it. 50 pixels to the top, 50 pixels to the bottom, make it wider. And definitely I don't want to write here this is a header. So let me get rid of this and rather segregate this space in two columns, three columns indeed. So I'm gonna go and then insert a container inside the container we have, and then change the width to 30%. Then right click on it and make a duplicate of it. Right click on it again and make a duplicate of it. So 30 plus 30 is 60. We are still left with 10 more. So I'm gonna say 40%, not 400%. But I don't want this to be stacked on top of each other, but rather be displayed side by side. So I'm going to select the parent container and make sure that the direction of this, because these are flex boxes, is set to row. So we have three boxes where we can place our content. Great. Let's go to the add elements, and I see there is this site logo. So if you have uploaded something as site logo, you simply have to just drag it and then leave it here. Okay. I do not have it in logo. You can change the site logo by clicking here and then changing it. You can make it smaller or bigger by Just using your mouse, I'm gonna make it smaller. And making it smaller simply means resizing the space it has. So I'll put 20 for this. That means I'll have to add more here. Yeah. So the sum of all these should come to 100. The logo goes there. I want the navigation to come here. So for the navigation, I can go here and drag this menu and then leave it here. Now, this is a custom menu, right? That allows me to define items and then add the URL. But I wouldn't want that. I would want things to be more automated. What if I add an additional page later on, right? So I'll come back again and then edit that menu. No, I don't want that. And what about the hierarchy if I want? By the way, hierarchy can be achieved with this. But then I have this amazing feature WordPress menu, which I already had built. So I can simply drag it and display it here, and it shows that I have two pages. Wow. Also, I can change the way it aligns itself by clicking on this to send it to the right hand side. And then I notice that it's aligning to the top of the logo, which may look nice, but what if I want it to be centered? So that's a property which we can address by going here. No, by going here, this container, and clicking on this justify content, which will bring this to middle of these. Let's say publish and go to our incognito page. If I refresh, I should get that header. Nice. Now these can be customized further by going to the style, and you will have so many options to choose from. So go ahead and then work with it. I want white color. You can do white color. On hover, it turns green. So I can go to the hover and change the hover color to black, and the pointer's color also to black. I don't want this line underneath. So I can go to the content, and there says pointer underline, change it to none. Perfect. Let's go to the style. I want the text to be slightly bigger. So I can go to the typography here and choose a different size. Let's increase the size of it. Say publish and done. Full control over how things will look on your website. And this is just the beginning of it. You can create a very different kind of menu also. Something which drops down from the top, acquires the whole screen. So for that, you can use pop-ups. In WordPress, you have option of creating pop-ups. In Elementor, you have that option. So अभी तो पासवर्ड डाला था भाई मेरा. Hmm. Templates did not have pop-ups in it. Templates did have pop-ups in it, I think. Custom elements, I think. Oh no. No, no, no. This is not it. I think they have removed the pop-up feature. Just quickly check. They removed the Here, this is how it used to look like. So now this is a different version of Elementor, and ah, and I have the pro version here. This is why it is not telling me to upgrade or update or anything. And I do have an option of going to the templates and finding out pop-ups. See, but in the recent version they have removed that. Smart. Oh no, sorry, they have removed it in the templates. Here are the pop-ups, and you can create here. They removed it from here and then put it in the editor. So you can uh, add a new pop-up and trigger that pop-up based on if the website launches, then the pop-up could be shown. Let's create a quick pop-up. So add a new template. Select the type of template do you want to work on. Pop-up, name, on website, or let's say free offer. Create the template. It's gonna load up the Elementor. Uh, this is how pop-ups look, right? So I'm gonna just quickly drag a heading and go drag an image also. Put this and this and a button also I want here. Yeah. So this is a pop-up which I want uh, my amazing offer. Okay. Mm, great. So if I click on publish, it is going to ask me for the condition, add condition, entire site, next, trigger, on page load. I want it to trigger within 0 second. Yes, instantly. The moment the page loads, I want it to trigger. I can also have on scroll rather than on trigger. Okay, and there are so many options here to choose from. Let me go to next. And so after, okay, fine, these are the advanced rules, you can go through that. Let me save this. It got published. Now let's go to the home page and use edit with Elementor. And we want the just a second, let me test if the pop-up is showing up. I think it needs to be imported to any of the pages. Yeah, it is showing up actually. So on the page load, it is going to show up. If I go to the home page, it's going to pop up. So such interactive items could be created. So you know how to create a header. Exactly the same way we have created the header, the footer can also be created. So where do we need to go? Elementor, theme builder, and here we just see this. So we can click on add new. This is global part. You click on footer and then click on add new. Let's close this, and here you can build your footer. Okay, so try doing that. Same way you can put any information you want by using these elements. Just drag and drop and create a nice footer. Uh, Now comes the second part, creating a template for the posts. So I'm not going to define the footer. Let me go back. The pop-up also shows up here. I'm going to go for single post. Click on add new, close this. So how do you wish your posts to be visible can be controlled by these single items. So the post title, let's say I want, first let me make a two column layout and then sort of give it about 70% of the space to the first one, and this one should be 30%. Add some top margin, and then we will start inserting the single post items here. So first I want the post title. Let me just drag and drop it. Then I'll go back and I want the post content here. The content comes up. I want, let's say, the author box who wrote this, and yeah, the featured image. So I want to put the featured image here. Nice. And the post info. So I would like to put the post info here. So all these things can be customized. I can add more items here. I can style these images the way I want. Okay, you want caption, use a caption. We did not define a caption while uploading the image. You have the style, width, max width, same CSS filter you want to apply the CSS filter. So for example, um, the normal, I want it to be less saturated, and on hover, I want it to gain the saturation. Okay, the hover animation, there are a lot. So I'm just close this. I don't want any hover animations. And this transition duration can also be set. So if you want it slowly, yeah, this looks nice. Let's add some border radius to it, 20 pixels, make it softer. So there goes my custom post. Okay, and this is looking too big. Let me just select this, go to the style, and then we can play around with the image size, the gap needed, you know, and the typography. Where is the author? Yeah, the typography is there. I want it smaller, not so big. Yeah, this much is fine. Then we have alignment here, the layout. This is how you want it, or this is how you want it. Okay, and you can show or hide the profile picture, show or hide the display name. So all those functionalities are there. I would want to post the comments also, so I can pull the comment and put it here so that people can reply, and then publish. Where do you want it to display? Add condition, all singular. That means all the posts are going to be rendered in this fashion. I'm going to say save and close. Let me quickly go back to our website, and these are the posts I have. No matter on which I'm going to click, it seems as if we have built this one, but even if I click on this one, it is going to show me the things in the same layout. Okay, so if you're wondering why two images are being shown here, this is nothing to do with the post, but rather with the featured image we had put. This is the featured image, and this is the post image. And you can see this image is transiting from a desaturated state to a saturated one, while this one, because is coming as a part of the post, is not changing color. Let me go back and show you this one also. Here comes the featured image, and then this comes as a part of the post. And remember, we had disabled comments on this in the quick setting, and that is why the comment section is not available to this one. For this one, okay, that pop-up becomes irritating, right? Every time I open a new page, the pop-up shows up. How do I stop it from showing up every time I go to a new page? That can be done. We can exit to WordPress, go for the editor and custom elements, find out that pop-up we had built, and let's see if the quick edit has that option. No, of course, quick edit won't have that option. We'll have to go to edit, and then conditions are not here. So let's click on edit with elementor, and we'll have to tweak up the permissions, the conditions, right? Let me find out where it is. Yeah, here it is. So in this drop down, display conditions, uh, let's look at it. Entire site, fine. We can choose a particular page also. So for example, we just want to show it on the home page. Let's do that first. So I'll say singular, all singular, no. Just the front page I can choose, or I can choose a page also, and there I can type the name of the page. We do have a home page. Yeah, let's refine the condition. Go to the next. On page load, let's give it a delay of 1 second. Otherwise, people can't even see the website. They see the pop-up straight away. So 1 second is fine. And this is about the trigger. What triggers the pop-up? Let's go to the next and look at the advanced rules. It says show after X page views. So after X session, so up to X times, how many times it can be shown. When arriving from a specific URL, right? Show on device on browser, schedule date and time. So I'm gonna say show up to X times. So 3 times it will show up per persisting session day, month, great, on open, on close. So I'll say persisting, and only once it should show, and save and close. So that means if I let me go to the blog, this is the archive, how this looks. Uh, we can change this also by changing the archive. Let me go to the home page and oh, what happened to the home page? What did we do? Why the home page is looking like this, like a post? क्या गलत किया हमने? लास्ट तो हमने यही सेटिंग चेंज करी है ना, इसको हटा देते हैं, रुक जाओ। एंटायर साइट रखते हैं, एक ही बार दिखाना है तो फिर क्या दिक्कत है, कहीं भी दिखे। होम पेज तो खराब नहीं होना चाहिए ना। अरे ये क्या गड़बड़ हो गया? इसके डिस्प्ले कंडीशन में all singular. No, sorry sir, this should be the posts and all, not all singular, my bad. The template was used for pages, because pages also come under singular and posts also come under singular. So now it got it. और इसके चक्कर में बेचारा पॉपअप को हमने चेंज कर दिया, उसको बुरा लगा होगा। लेट्स गो बैक टू द डिस्प्ले कंडीशन। एंटायर साइट की जगह पे हम सिंगुलर करेंगे और यहाँ पे हम करेंगे पेजेस और यहाँ पे करेंगे होम, बिकॉज हम बिल्कुल सही थे। So the pop-up will show up on the home page. I am just gonna jump to the blog because when I come back, I should expect the home page to load up correct and the pop-up to show, right? So the blog, fine. The home page should load correct and the pop-up should show. Bet लगाओगे कोई? Bet लगाओगे कोई बताओ? नहीं? हार जाते तुम यार। अच्छा एक बार दिख चुका है पहले। तो परसिस्टेंस हटाते हैं, कंट्रोल शिफ्ट आर। एक सेकंड हो गया भाई, पॉपअप कहाँ है? तुम जीत जाते। योर बैड। लगा लेना सीधा। हाँ, जस्ट अ सेकंड, लेट मी अगेन गो टू परसिस्टेंट था ना, सेशन नहीं था, सॉरी। वो तो इट विल, यस, सी आफ्टर 1 second you get this, so rightly configured then in that case। ठीक है, nicely configured, works well। The last thing, we could fetch dynamic content, show the post in whichever way we want to, but the blog archive looks horrible. Not horrible, it's good only. I don't see it as horrible, but we can definitely style it better. So let's go to the theme builder, look for the archive and click on add new. And it says 502 bad gateway. ये क्या है? ऐसा क्यों? क्या ये तंग आ गया मेरे से? मेरा लैपटॉप गर्म हो गया, इसको अब हवा देनी पड़ेगी। अटक गया तो इसको क्लोज कर देते, ठीक है, फिर से स्टार्ट। स्टॉप हो जा भाई। स्टार्ट द साइट अगेन। WP admin। थैंक यू। हम करने वाले थे आर्काइव के लिए एक टेम्पलेट डिजाइन। Process is exactly the same. The way we did it for the singular posts, we can do it for the entire archive as well. So we go to the archive, click on this plus, should not show us 502 error, but rather load elementor. Do that। जब तक ये लोड होए तब तक। अगर फ्री में होस्ट करना है तो आप google.cloud.console.cloud.google.com पे जा सकते हैं और वहां पे एक ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट बना सकते हैं, पर यहाँ पे आपको अपना क्रेडिट कार्ड कनेक्ट करना पड़ेगा। इट वोंट चार्ज यू फॉर 1 year and also will give you $300 of free credit to experiment with so many amazing things it offers। If you simply click on this and you will see you have compute engines, you have cloud storages, you have cloud build, cloud run is again amazing thing, which acts similar to the way Vercel works. So all those things are there. You can experiment with it. And deploying your WordPress site here is very, very simple and easy. You can simply create a VM and install WordPress into it. Take the backup from this site. It got loaded. Let's come back to this. So here we are creating an archive, and it says archive title, archive posts, and author box. Simple as that, right? Three things. So let me pull the archive here. Okay, and give it some top margin about 100. 50 is fine. Archive posts. Let's drag this one. Keep it below this. So instead of stacking it one by one, it shows in three columns. Now, if it looks similar to the way we have pulled it on the home page, you have the choice of changing the number of columns to two, or changing it to cards, two. Yeah, this looks fine for the archive. Show images or not show the images. That's your choice. Then there are taxonomies on the basis of which you can filter out content. For example, here we have general and here we have uncategorized. So let's say that here in the archive, I have this hierarchy where under the archive, I would say general. Okay, I'll just change this so that it looks different. Sorry, color. Yeah. So under the general category, I can simply come here and then add a taxonomy here. Where is taxonomy? Yeah, badge taxonomy. So category is the badge taxonomy. For the badges, taxonomy is category. We can have tags as well there. But I am looking for a place from which yeah, this, no, this is this metadata. This is for this one, metadata. How do I filter the content from here? There is an option. Uh, what? I can't filter content here. Sorry, I'm using the wrong instrument actually. We should be using posts on the archive. This is what we need to use, right? Because the both are same. It's just that the archive one by default takes everything which is there in the archive. That is the point of having the archive tool in the first place. But here we have the choice. So query, that was missing there, right? You expand the query and you can make uh, date is all, order is fine, query ID. Let's type categories. No, let me add a dynamic tag. दिख रहा है कैटेगरी कहीं पे? कैटेगरी दिख रहा है कहीं? या पेज टाइटल, साइट टाइटल, आर्काइव टाइटल, पोस्ट, पोस्ट दिख रहा है, पोस्ट कस्टम फील्ड दिख रहा है. क्वेरी में यहाँ पे ऑप्शन है इंक्लूड बाय. इंक्लूड बाय टर्म करेंगे, टर्म में जाके हम कैटेगरीज डालेंगे और देखो मुझे जर्नल ढूंढना था ना, सो यहाँ पे मुझे टर्म में जाके जनरल categories general, so it will only find out that one and list it here. uh, Let me change the layout to three columns so that it becomes a little smaller, and we can style it also in a different way, uh, that we will see later. But think of it in this way, that if I need another section in the archive which lists all the uncategorized, you could change the name of the uncategorized basically, uncate, or let's say, let's call it spatial. Okay, spatial. I'm gonna change this color. Okay, and in fact, let's just, build a different section for it, just for keeping things neat, so that we can add some margin at the top. Yeah, and let's add, just make it a little pretty. I will add a divider also below this, a single line. Here also we can do the same, divider. Yeah, looks nice. And below this, I wish to put, uh, I'm simply going to copy this only and paste it here. But this time I'm going to change the query from category general to category uncategorized. So everything which is there in the uncategorized, okay, uh, is going to show up here. I'm going to publish, add condition. The template will work on all archives. Uh, I actually did not design the archive. This is wrong. I just designed a page and used the posts, but fine. Okay. This is how the archives are going to look. Um, yes, we can add, a background to it. Let me pick a color. Oh God, let's just go with a very nice gray color. Hmm. Let's publish. Nice. So header is there. Posts are showing up how they should. And if you click on blog, takes you that page we have designed and shows based on the taxonomies. Excellent. Here also you can click, navigate to that post. Yep. So everything works. Okay. And it's not loading up that pop-up because it's persisting in the memory. That means if I close the browser and open it again, then only it will persist. Then also it will persist actually. Let's test. Yeah, it will persist in that case also. That means if I have visited this earlier from this browser, then it will not persist. Uh, we can try a different browser, by the way. And this browser's memory does not have that uh, pop-up being shown earlier. So we should get a pop-up here. Yes, we do get a pop-up here. But these conditions are simply for not annoying people, that every time they enter the same website, they get the same offer. It becomes annoying. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any question? हाँ, अगर 3 से ज्यादा है and you want it to scroll, यू कैन डू दैट। उसके लिए एक अलग तुम्हें यूज करना पड़ेगा, Hmm, एक कॉरसल यूज करना पड़ेगा, यहाँ पे वो एलिमेंट है। ये पोर्टफोलियो दिख रहा है, दिस ऑप्शन यू कैन यूज। Shows all your posts like this, and no, sorry, it cannot be scrolled like that. That has to be designed in a custom way, or a plugin needs to be there। क्योंकि इसमें अगर मैं बढ़ा भी दूं ना इसको, तो रुक जाओ मैं दिखाता हूँ। इसमें अगर कॉलम्स 2 कर दूं तो ये इस तरह से ग्रिड की तरह दिख सकता है ज्यादा से ज्यादा। और ये सारे पोस्ट हैं, तो आप क्लिक करोगे तो ये आपको पोस्ट पे लेके जाएगा। ये देखो, अगर इस पे क्लिक करोगे तो इट विल टेक यू टू दैट पोस्ट, बट ये कॉर्जल की तरह नहीं आ रहा है अभी फिलहाल, पर आ जाएगा। ऐसा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मतलब वो करना इतना डिफिकल्ट नहीं है। डायरेक्टली इससे नहीं होगा, कोई ना कोई प्लग इन करके, या देयर विल बी वर्क अराउंड हाउ वी कैन डू दैट। इसमें तो नहीं दिख रहा है फिलहाल। लूप्स है, ये रहा, ये यूज कर सकते। सो इसमें तुम्हें टेम्पलेट करना होगा क्रिएट, और टेम्पलेट में तुम पोस्ट डाल दोगे एक, तो फिर उसके हिसाब से ले लेगा। यहाँ ऑलरेडी पोस्ट चूज किया हुआ है, चूज टेम्पलेट टाइप पोस्ट, स्टार्ट टाइपिंग इट्स नेम। पोस्ट टैक्सोनॉमी लेते हैं, और हम जनरल ना, source categories, so on। Oh, we have not created a template। यहाँ पे डिजाइन करना पड़ेगा, और हम पोस्ट डाल सकते हैं। नहीं, एक so what we want here is, it needs a template to be created which will be looped, and choose template type is post, and let's see if, okay, we don't have a template for the post, so we need to create a template first। Yeah, and here we have post title, let's put it there, and go back, featured image we would want to have, and we would like to have post excerpt, let's go with this for now, save and back, So it should fetch all the posts and run it in a carousel. So for this the accept size is more. अच्छा, यहाँ पे तीन दिख रहे हैं, तो हम अगर हम इसको नंबर ऑफ स्लाइड, हाँ स्लाइड तो हो रहा है, ये स्लाइड्स ऑन डिस्प्ले को अगर हम 2 कर दें तो ये जल्दी जल्दी होगा फिर। और पेजिनेशन है, नेविगेशन है, ठीक है। लेट्स पब्लिश दिस। वेयर डू यू वांट टू डिस्प्ले योर टेम्पलेट? ऑल आर्काइव्स, या ऑल आर्काइव्स इज सेम। So here is your carousel of posts, ठीक है। Needs to be styled better of course, but does the job. Yeah, you can go to the edit template and style it better. So for example, this if looks big, go here and then change um, the size of it. It will work across all the different color. Go for a different color, want a different thickness for it. So everything you wish to customize can be done. For this image also you have a lot of customization options, width, height. Yeah, just delete this and go for the height and object fit. Let's change it to cover so that all the images becomes equal. I'm gonna go for 300 pixels, and yeah, object position is center fine, and then yeah, this is fine. Here it's going in 2 line, that's why it's creating the problem. So to solve this, uh, either we need to reduce the size of this one, um, so that they fit in fact it only makes sense to reduce the size of it because these are going to be in a carousel. So maybe slightly thicker font. Yeah, this looks fine. Let's optimize the images. Let's add a little border to it, the border radius to it, and you can also put some shadows if you want, so it looks elevated. I want vertical offset. Yes, and in fact, why not bring this here, just to avoid that issue only. Okay, so it did not change this one right away, but if I save and go back, I should expect that to change as well. Yep, it's changing, and then now it looks better, right? So yep, so this is how it looks now. With a little bit of customization, it looks like this. Anything else, guys? Who suggested loop carousel? Good. I almost forgot about. Any other question? Is it too much? Is it too complicated to understand? Not so complicated. Just that बहुत कुछ है और समय नहीं है हम लोगों के पास, हम लोग बहुत बिजी हैं, इतना काम करना है कि नहीं? ठीक है, so that is all for this demonstration. Let me